Hi guys, I have received so many requests to do a school lunch idea video, and with school starting very soon I thought this would be a perfect time to do this video. I was asked a lot at the end of last year, and I think at the end of the school year everyone kind of runs out of ideas and the kids kind of get sick of eating the same thing, but we have a new school year and hopefully we will be fresh with ideas. I'm going to let you know how my boys pack their lunches now. They're teenagers and in high school, so what they bring now is a little different than what they brought when they were little, but I'll let you know things that I used to pack when they were younger and try to give you as many ideas as I can think of. And I'm also going to try to remember to include links in the description box to other YouTubers that I know who show their kids lunches or have done lunch idea videos. And if you happen to have any other ideas, be sure to comment below and share those, because we're always looking for new ideas for our kids. I know, especially when my kids were younger, you know, you'd have all these ideas and then they would get tired of things and you're like, what do you pack for lunches? So I would love to hear your ideas as well. I'm sure the other moms would too. I will show you how I have my fridge and pantry set up to just make packing lunches a little bit easier, and I'll give you lots of ideas and ways that you can switch things up, and then I'll share some things that we packed when they were younger as well. I find it easiest if they pack their lunches the night before, and they like to make their sandwiches in the morning, but if they have everything in their lunch bag, then all they have to do is make their sandwich, and it just makes it a lot easier, and they keep it right in the fridge, and it's just one less thing that they have to do in the morning. So my boys pack a sandwich. Sometimes I do pepperoni rolls or things like that now that they're in high school and they don't want to bring thermoses and stuff like that. I'll include my pepperoni roll recipe. I'll link that in the description box, but they really like those. So they always have some type of sandwich, and then they also pack either string cheese or yogurt. And I'll show you how I have that set up in my fridge just to make it a little bit easier for them to grab. And then they have a piece of fruit, and I always have that bagged up or in a little container, or the apples or oranges, you know, washed and in a fruit bowl on the table, so it's just easy to grab. And then they bring a snack, and I'll show you how I have that in my pantry as well. I have this shelf in my pantry set up for lunch making. I have lunch bags here so they can just grab one of these, sandwich bags for when they make a sandwich, and then I also have this container with plastic spoons if they bring a cup of yogurt, so it's just all in one shelf and they don't have to, you know, search for anything, and it makes it a lot easier on them. I've mentioned this in a few of my videos, I know in my pantry video and probably a few others, but I like to divide our snacks, and I just have them in these containers here. This one holds chips and things like that, so I usually have 2 large bags of chips or whatever they want, and I divide them into individual servings, so they're all in sandwich bags, and I just keep them in here. It just makes it really easy for them to grab when they're packing a lunch. And then I also have some baked goods in this one, so they just take one or the other. In this larger container I have granola bars and muffins. Sometimes I'll do banana snack cake or cookies, something like that, but it's usually really full of baked goods. And I have been cutting my granola bars into larger pieces because my boys are teenagers and they need a little bit more. And then when I bake muffins, I usually put 2 in each bag. And if I bake cookies, the same thing, I'll put 2 in each bag because they just need a little bit more now. I will link a lot of recipes for snacks. I have a granola bar recipe. I know a lot of you make those and I talk about them all the time, but I'll link that just in case you haven't seen that video. I'll link a few different muffin recipes that I have recorded, and I have more. I'll record them, you know, eventually as I make them. And I also have some cookie recipes and a recipe for banana snack cake, which is really easy to make. And it's nice and moist. If you want to package it up for lunches, you can wrap it in plastic wrap or you can just put each piece in an individual sandwich bag. So this just makes it really easy for my boys when they go to pack a lunch, because they can just grab one of these snacks to throw in their lunch bag. In this drawer of my refrigerator, I keep fruit that is washed and cut and either in a bag or a container that they can easily grab for their lunches. I also use this when I need to grab some fruit to take to the gym with me. So in here right now I have some green grapes and they're all in individual bowls. Sometimes, like I mentioned, I'll have strawberries or melon, anything that I need to cut and chop up I put in here, and that just makes it really easy for them to grab. Instead of having to wash it and bag it, it just makes making lunch a lot easier. I also keep a large fruit bowl on my table, and my boys haven't started school yet, so it isn't quite set up for school time. But normally in here I would have peaches, nectarines, pears, apples, oranges, bananas, things like that, whatever's in season. And when I get home from the grocery store, I just wash everything, and that way if they want something from here to put in their lunch, they can just grab it and put it in their lunch bag. In this bin, I keep things like string cheese and individual yogurt, so they pick one or the other, and it's just right here in this bin. I separate all of the string cheeses because normally they are all together, and that just makes it a lot easier for them. I take all of the individual yogurts out of the boxes and put them in here. I don't have any yet because I need to get those at Trader Joe's, but normally I would have this full of string cheese and yogurt for them to grab. Now, as far as other ideas and things that I did when my boys were younger, one thing that I started making with Christian was in first grade, and he loved this and he ate it every day and got tired of it. We would do bean burritos. So I would just have a large tortilla, put some refried beans and cheese and wrap it up and seal it in foil or plastic wrap, and he loved that for his lunch. And it was sort of like lukewarm temperature, so it wasn't, you know, warm, but it wasn't cold, and he really liked that. He ended up getting tired of them because he had it every day, but that is an option. Obviously lots of different sandwiches. You can switch it up and buy rolls or wraps or whatever your kids happen to like, different meats and cheeses and peanut butter, almond butter. Just be creative. You could do salads if your kids like salads, either a green salad or a pasta salad. You could add some cubes of cheese into the pasta salad or some meat into the pasta salad. You could do pita bread and hummus, or pita bread and carrots and cucumbers or things like that, whatever your kids will eat. I used to do macaroni and cheese and put it in their thermos, and this is the little thermos that we had. It's a really great size for kids. You can fit quite a bit in there, and it's a perfect size for lunch, and you can find these pretty much anywhere, and this is Thermos brand. And so like I mentioned, I did macaroni and cheese in there. I would do pasta with some grated Parmesan cheese and a little bit of olive oil and maybe a little oregano if your kids like that. You could put soup in there. You could either use soup that you purchase in the can and just heat it up and put it in there in the morning. One of my friends makes a huge pot of soup, and then she just heats it up in the morning and puts it in her kids' thermoses, and that's a great option, especially if it's cold out and you want your kids to have a hot lunch. I actually used to bake chicken nuggets and put them in this thermos, and my kids really liked them. They aren't as crispy as they would be if you pulled them right out of the oven, but my kids liked them that way when they were younger. So you could either buy chicken nuggets or you could make your own and just have those in the fridge to reheat. You could do cheese and crackers, or cheese, crackers, and some type of meat. You could roll up lunch meat and cheese. Also, you could do apples with peanut butter or apples with almond butter. I mentioned the pepperoni rolls. I've been making those for my kids for a number of years, and that's probably their favorite thing to have even at this age. So I'll definitely link that recipe below. I also used to make pizzas on English muffins. So I would just toast the English muffins first, put a little pizza sauce on top, a little bit of cheese and pepperoni, or you could do vegetables or whatever your kids like. And then I would bake them all at the same time. So I would usually bake them for like 10 or 15 minutes until the cheese was melted. And I would put 2 in a bag and have those in the refrigerator. And my kids didn't mind eating those, you know, sort of at room temperature. You could even do leftovers depending on what they are. In a thermos, like mostaccioli with meat sauce you could do in here. So those are the ideas that I have. Those are things that have worked for my kids and things that they like. I know it isn't anything really elaborate, but maybe you found an idea or two. Like I mentioned, I'll try to link some videos that I find in the description box, and then I would love to hear your ideas in the comments below, and that way we can kind of share ideas with each other. I thought it would be kind of a neat way to get ideas and see what works for other moms. So I look forward to hearing your ideas. Thank you so much for watching.